Well, hey there, and welcome back to another episode of the Adventures of Mobile Homes podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Hernandez, aka Mobile Home Girl of adventuresofmobilehomes.com. Thank you so much for joining me here on the 87th episode of the podcast. So today, I want to share with you a portion of an expert video interview that I recently did for members on my support page with Joanne Lapin, a licensed mortgage loan originator, or MLO, with Hanover Mortgage Company, where we talk all about the ins and outs of financing options for mobile home investors. Now, in the interview, you'll learn about the different options and resources available to help you get financing for your mobile home investing business. Plus, you'll learn the differences between these programs, including information on lending criteria and the entire financing process from beginning to end. We also get into different topics in the interview, including the pre-qualification process and criteria for mobile home loans, seller financing options available to mobile home investors, including other lending scenarios, how the closing process works, and what's involved when financing mobile home deals, out-of-pocket costs involved when closing deals using mobile home financing, and so much more. And also, Joanne shares stories about past clients and how they structured financing for their mobile home deals. Plus, we talk about financing options for mobile home parks, lots, and land. I'm telling you, there's so much good information in this expert interview when it comes to getting financing and options out there to get financing on your deals as a mobile home investor. So check it out. Here goes. Hi, y'all. This is Rachel Hernandez, aka Mobile Home Girl at adventuresofmobilehomes.com. Today, I've got another expert interview for you today as a member and supporter of the support page. Today, I'm going to be talking with Joanne Lapin of a licensed MLO, mortgage loan originator, and AE, account executive with Hanover Mortgage Company. And basically, we're going to be talking about all things financing options with mobile homes for mobile home investors and other products that they also offer as well too, because this is a subject that people ask me about all the time. And if you didn't know, I kind of grew up in Orange County, California, where Hanover Mortgage Company is based. They're actually based in Tustin, California. I went to college at UC Irvine. And so I'm actually very excited to see all things what Joanne has to offer and to share with everyone. So without further ado, welcome, Joanne.
Thanks so much for the lovely intro. And I didn't realize I've got a fellow OC here. That's wonderful. I actually am from South Africa, and I grew up in Irvine. I went to Woodbridge High School, and I live locally here in Tustin. And my company, it's my husband's company. His name is G. David Lapin. It's Hanover Mortgage Company, and we're here locally in Tustin, and we specialize in hard money loans. Don't really like to say the word hard money because it comes out the wrong way. So I like to say we specialize in value add business purpose loans. I get so excited when we start talking about manufactured homes and mobile homes. We have been doing ground up construction on them for years, as well as major rehab, as well as financing on RV parks. And what we found through the years, and this is now going on 12, 13 years, our investors actually cash on cash have made a better profit than a stick-built home. As you know, affordable housing is not out there in California. Land is expensive, and manufactured housing is just a wonderful, wonderful tool to have. And it's exciting. It's exciting to see the products. We've been to a couple of factories locally. We've seen the product. We've seen it change through the years, and it's sometimes you can't even tell. You actually, if you look at a stick-built home and some modulars, you actually cannot tell. It's truly amazing.
Well, that's great. I'm so glad, Joanne, that you are actually so enthusiastic about manufactured housing, mobile homes, affordable housing. I mean, it's just great to, just talk to someone who's actually very enthusiastic about the subject, who has a lot of knowledge about the subject. So you talked a little bit about the company. Can you tell us exactly what your role in the company is, what you do, and how you can help mobile home investors?
Absolutely. My role is sales. So I speak to the borrowers who are typically small business owners or real estate investors, more mom and pop real estate investors. And we go through the scenario and then I try to troubleshoot and see, okay, well, how can we piece this together? And we're really creative. We had a repeat client last year in the city of Colton. Yes, I believe it was Colton. And they had a much, much older manufactured home. It was a manufactured home, I think, pre-76, which is typically the cutoff. And it was fantastic. We were able to do a rehab loan for him. And then he was able to turn around and resell it. And there's not a lot of companies out there that are doing this kind of niche product. So I always say, as long as they own the land, it has to be fee simple. We can work with them. It doesn't necessarily even have to be on a recorded 433A. And we typically on this kind of product will really not go past a 55 to 60% finished value, just FYI. We're also able to take a construction loan and put it into a permanent loan, which is very, very niche, because a lot of the times these are older manufactured homes and they really aren't going to ever get conventional financing. So if we've got a real estate investor who wants to keep it on hold, we're able to give them a balloon loan, but a longer term balloon loan. So we really try to customize it to what the situation is for the real estate investor.
Okay, yeah. Now, for folks who are not familiar with balloon loans, can you tell us what exactly a balloon loan is and how it works?
Sure. It means the principal balance on the loan will go ahead and balloon at a certain time frame, anywhere from, let's say, 1 to 7 years. They will, instead of the loan being amortized and paying down over 30 years, it will have a balloon attached to it, which means it's a shorter term loan. And we customize those. We typically write them out anywhere from 1 to 7 years.
Okay, great. And I'm glad that you kind of differentiated that what you can do for mobile home investors, it does have to be attached to land. It does have to be attached and classified as real property versus personal property. My question is, let's talk about those programs. Let's talk about, what are you seeing in terms of interest rates, down payment? What does someone need to do to kind of qualify? Do they have to go through the pre-qualification process with you? How does that all work?
They do, absolutely. Because it's hard money, we're looking at equity. Equity is so important to us. We're also looking at how much the property can actually spin off in income. So the less expenses it has and the higher probability of high rent, the more will go higher on the loan to value. But as I mentioned to you before, for the modular and the manufactured homes, we typically are going to go lower on our loan to values, maybe around 50, 55%. On anything else, we can go up as high as 65%, and that would be based on as is or an after repaired value. And really, we look at the whole deal organically. We want to know that it's rentable, that it is going to be a good long-term investment, and that it's not going to be a runaway train where they're getting into something where they're rehabbing and there's way more work than anyone anticipated. Because of the experience we have, we can sort of size it up really, really fast. So the process would be somebody to initially give us a call, give the scenario. What I do is I go on a couple of different websites and a couple of different apps that we use to kind of scope out and see what's going on in the immediate neighborhood and see what the marketability of the property is. And from there, we discuss the numbers, and then I will call a local appraiser and start to snoop around too with the local appraiser, and we start to really, at that point, start drilling down more or less of where it's going to be. When we order these appraisals, we ask for a scope of work with a very detailed budget of what the rehab is going to be. And if there's going to be permits and structural, we obviously want to know who's going to be doing the work. We want to make sure it's somebody who's licensed.
So there you have it. A portion of an expert interview that I recently did for members of my support page with Joanne Lepin, a licensed mortgage loan originator or MLO with Hanover Mortgage Company, where we talk about the ins and outs of financing options for mobile home investors. Now, in the interview, we get into so much more in-depth information about financing and how mobile home investors can take advantage of the many financing options out there for your mobile home deals, including what's out there in the industry today. Because let's face it, funding is such an important piece of the puzzle when it comes to being a real estate investor or mobile home investor. I get a lot of questions specifically about how to get financing on mobile home deals, which is why I invited Joanne to do the expert interview on the subject. I'm telling you, there's so much information packed right in this interview. And the best part, Joanne has agreed to make herself available to members of my support page with any questions that they might have. In fact, she's made her contact information available to members of my support page in order to help members out with their questions. Now, this expert interview is just one of the perks of becoming a member of my support page. And as a member, you'll get exclusive access to regular training classes like this on different topics around mobile home investing and access to detailed posts where I go into more detail about specific topics within mobile home investing that you won't find anywhere else. I'm telling you, this is exclusive content and behind the scenes footage of my own mobile home investing business. And plus, you'll also get discounts to special events. And here's the kicker: discounts to my existing courses and classes, including a special extra discount to my Dodd-Frank and SAFE Act course, especially for mobile home investors, just for members of my support page. So you definitely don't want to miss out on the special deal. And that's not all. I just added a new private podcast as a perk of becoming a member. Now, this private podcast is only available to members of the support page, where I go over the behind the scenes of my own mobile home investing business, including other projects that I'm working on. In fact, I just published a new episode of the private podcast recently where I talk more about the behind the scenes of what I've been doing with my own mobile home investing business, specifically right now, wholesaling mobile homes, which I'll link up here in the show notes. Honestly, the membership, it's a way for you to get ongoing training as a mobile home investor, learn the ins and outs of what exactly I'm doing right now to make money as a mobile home investor, and get discounts to upcoming classes and trainings, including my new coaching program coming out very soon, especially for mobile home investors. And most importantly, staying in contact with me directly and other members through the Discord community, which is yet another perk of being a member of the support page. And let me tell you, we've got a lot of interesting conversations and topics that we're talking about right in the Discord community. And it's great to see what everyone's been up to with their own mobile home investing business, including the recent deals and answering any questions that members might have. Honestly, it's been really great getting to know all the members in the Discord community, which you have access to me directly as a member. Sign up as a member today. Go to www.adventuresinmobilehomes.com/support for more information on how you can support me and become a member, including all the perks that you'll get that I just mentioned. And if you're already a member of my support page, be sure to check out this expert interview and let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts and answer any questions that you might have. And stay tuned, as I've got more expert interviews lined up in the future. Exciting stuff all. And just in case you missed it, I did do a video walkthrough of the support page and what it's all about. You can find it on episode 52 of the podcast, where I celebrate the 2-year anniversary of the show, what it means, and my plans going forward. You can find it at www.adventuresofmobilehomes.com/52. And if you'd like to check out this video expert interview with Joanne Lepin, a licensed mortgage loan originator, or MLO, of Hanover Mortgage Company, where we talk all about financing options for mobile home investors, you can check it out in the show notes where I provide more information and details. Go to www.adventuresofmobilehomes.com/87. Again, www.adventuresofmobilehomes.com/87. Well, that's about it for now. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. And if you've enjoyed the podcast so far, please be sure to share it with family and friends. And be sure to follow me and subscribe. That's about it for now. Until next time, this is Rachel Hernandez, aka Mobile Home Girl of the Adventures of Mobile Homes podcast, signing off. Thanks for tuning in.